Okay, Heinz and I are working on a project at my house where we're taking up some river rock, as you can see in the bucket there, and we straightened out a big barrel cactus. I don't know if it's going to live, but we straightened it out because it was going to die if it fell over anyway. And we picked up a bunch of these rocks. I'll show you what's next when we get back. This was going to be a quick little project, but we extended the scope a little bit, so that's why I've decided to video this. Okay, Heinz and I are up here, and we're going to go remove this thing and go dump these rocks back here so they can be used later. Okay, we are behind. This is Heinz solar panel array right here, and this is kind of some storage area. So we're going to dump these rocks back here and then pick up some riprap to start on my project. Okay, Heinz had some riprap here for us to get started with. There's my good friend Heinz. We're going to take it over and get started, and then next week we'll go to Green Valley Decorative Rock and get some on a trailer. Okay, this is the end of my driveway that meets the street. Right up here you can kind of see that is my water meter, and I'll kind of explain what the deal was. So right here where it meets the street and we go down this way, you have this huge barrel. This thing, I'm 5'9", and this thing is about 5'3". It's a big barrel. It was leaning way over. We dug a relief hole and we pushed it straight. I think we broke some roots, but it was going to die if it fell over anyway. So we've gotten it straightened and decided to take all the river rock that was here, you know, all the way down to where this riprap starts. We took all the river rock out here and straightened this barrel cactus up, and then we decided the water meter here was in there tilted and crooked, and my neighbor Heinz can't stand something like that. So we took it all out and fixed it, and it's going back in nice and level. And then that little bit of riprap you saw, we had one bucket of riprap. That's all it would do. That's everything that we had in that bucket. You only get about 30 square feet of ground coverage with 4 to 8 riprap. Anyway, this was going to end right here, but let me show you something else. This is what we took out, a bunch of this river rock. Lots of river rock. And Heinz says it would be better to take all the river rock out to about here, where, you know, we have this railroad tie on the other side and we have a break between riprap and river rock. He thinks it'd be better to come up here and make it kind of match. So that's going to be the project. And this is just to show you, this is the west side of my house. This is where we've been storing the river rock we're taking up. That is probably 3 tons right there. We've been kind of separating from medium, large, and small. Okay, it's Friday morning, the 11th, I think. I'm at Green Valley Decorative Rock. We've been slow this morning, so I made a sale to myself for my home project. I loaded myself with 0.60 tons, which is about 1,300 pounds of 4 to 8 riprap for that project I'm doing at the house. So I just thought I'd show you what almost 1/3 of a ton looks like. It's in the back of my Chevy Tahoe here. I'll show you that in a second here. Okay, I got the rock in the back of my trusty 1997 Chevy Tahoe. So anyway, I'll take that home this afternoon and see about putting it out this weekend, or maybe I'll wait for Heinz. He likes to be involved. Okay, it's about 10:45 on Sunday morning. I just got back from the car wash. It's now called Village Car Wash. It used to be Octopus. I'm showing you the back of my Tahoe here because that 1,300 plus pounds of riprap I had in there, I actually got it out and I laid the border this morning. So all these big ones here, Heinz drew a line for me and I followed his line and put these down, and so that part's done. We'll have to go get some more and fill the rest in, but basically emptied my truck and made the border. So I'll show you more when it's finished. Thanks for watching. Okay, sorry for the wind, but it's just windy today. Today is the 16th of April 2025. Just want to give you an update of what we're working on here. My cactus that we straightened started to lean the other way, so Heinz and I have propped it up. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. I don't know if it's going to survive, but it was going to definitely die falling over the other way. So we had already seen this. We'd already made the outline here. So what I've done over the past couple of days was go to Green Valley Decorative Rock in my old Dodge pickup and get about a ton of really big, what I call anchor rocks. And I have laid out these rocks. I've got quite a slope here, and so I wanted to get big rocks that just wouldn't easily roll down the hill. So I got some big wide rocks. These each are about 60 to 70 pounds a piece. These things are huge. Just this row I just showed you right there was about a ton. And then Heinz cut this railroad tie here, and that's where we have our division between riprap and river rock. Just to show you here, I'm going to step down right here. There you go. You can see that behind each of these rocks we put in some nails to keep the rock from sliding down the hill. So we put a couple on each one, so that way, you know, they won't just go down the hill. And we kind of leveled out this dirt area between the curb and the rock. We've leveled it out, and it is ready for smaller riprap to fill in this gap. And that will be all the way down here. We've kind of filled in around the water meter already. It'll be this corner and then down to the end. So we'll show you probably, well, maybe when it's partly done, and then definitely when it's fully done. But that's the project. Okay, I'm not sure if I covered this already or not, but this is the east end of the little project here. We got our railroad tie in, and we got our big riprap anchors in, and we anchored them with some 8-inch landscape nails. And now we've kind of graded the dirt flat here. You can see where we're headed, and we're ready to lay our riprap in. We'll probably do it next week. Today is Easter Sunday, April 20th. And I think I showed this, but this is a just in case video. Over here, our big barrel started leaning the wrong way, so we have put some stakes in and kind of propped it up until I can get some roots and decide what it's going to do. And then again, our riprap is just going to go right down here. And that will be it. Anyway, this is April 20th, 2025. Okay guys, I wanted to give an update on this little riprap project out by the street. So this is the street in front of my house. That is the cactus we straightened. We still have some supports on it, but Heinz and I took 2 trips to Green Valley Decorative Rock on Friday, getting a total of 3 tons of riprap. And I just kind of wanted to show you, let me turn this way so we don't go into the sun, what it covered. It doesn't go far. 3 tons just to get up here basically to the corner. You know, back around behind there, and then up here, and then we had part of the way up to the water meter done, and this little bit on the other side I just threw them in here for right now. Those were what was left after we got to the water meter. So it's going to take, I don't know how much more, another ton or ton and a half probably, and we'll have this finished. But that's where we stand. That was as of Friday. I can't remember what day it was. I think today's the 27th, so 25th, I guess. That's where it is. Looks pretty good. There it is. Okay, this is the last one for this project. So from the water meter here on up to where we finished, it's about 50 feet. It took a ton and a half of 48 riprap, you know, minus these big anchors that we secured on the outside with nails. Heinz and I did this this morning in about 2 hours. So not bad time, you know. We had the rocks on the trailer and the trailer right next to the curb here. So we finished that. And now I'll just show you the whole thing. The whole thing took 4.5 tons. 4.5 tons. Okay, this is where we started this morning, right here. And this is previous. Our barrel seems to be pretty stable right now. We can probably maybe remove those 4x4s at some point. And then we come on just down here to the end. And you can see that we went out and around the barrel cactus there. But anyway, we're done with this. All of it took 4.5 tons of 48 riprap. And that's about $200 in rock. And, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 men about 6 hours or 8 hours. So if you want to do a project like this, that's what you can expect. Thank you for watching.